Welcome back to Amiibo Doctor, and say goodbye to 2023. This video is going to be kind of an amalgamation of a lot of things, as you might have guessed by the title. To get the obvious out of the way, I do have pants on under this robe. I'm not some kind of weirdo. So Sora Amiibo training. The big news that really should be pointed out is twofold. The first one is the Sora Amiibo. Second one is the team tourney. We'll get to that in a sec. So the Sora Amiibo got a release date. It was in February of 2024, which is a lot earlier than I thought it would be. I almost was wrong about 2024. I know. I was like, because I had said 2024, dang, it's gonna happen. But man, that was like 6 weeks, kind of close. We are going to have a Sora Amiibo training video. Don't really know exactly when that's going to come out. It's going to kind of depend on my schedule. But it is going to happen. It'll be just like the way we used to do it. Just stick the capture card up in the corner and scan in Sora Amiibo. I'm going to kind of miss this, actually. I don't really do a lot of Amiibo anymore. But this will be my last time training a new Amiibo. Like, I might train other Amiibo, right? But this will be the last time I don't know what the Amiibo AI looks like going in. And that discovery process is always really fun because you get to observe the tendencies and train a couple of them and figure out, I don't know what this does, wonder what that does, wonder how he responds to this, right? So that'll be really fun. But it'll also be kind of sad because I've been Amiibo training for a long time. We'll just put it that. I've been Amiibo training since I was in high school, sophomore year of high school, maybe junior year. I forget exactly when, and I have 1 semester left of law school. So that's a long time. That's longer than some of you people have been alive. So anyway, but Sora's going to come out. I'll probably have some predictions on his place in the meta that are more in-depth at the time, because I haven't played Smash in like 6 months. So I'd have to like pick up Sora again and see like, I wonder how he plays, right? But my initial thought is probably Seed here, if I'm gonna guess, because he's just so light and kind of fluffy. They'd have to do some like Kazuya level AI work to put him in like A or A+ tier, would be my guess. And he has the tools for that, like his forward air and whatnot. He has the tools to do things like that, but that double jump is just so weird, It's a great recovery tool, but I'd be willing to bet that if he uses it on stage, he's probably toast. You know what I mean? Because it just leaves him so vulnerable. So anyway, but we'll have more in-depth stuff later. I'll probably ask some of my people what they think. So second, welcome to the new vanilla Amiibo tier list. Thank you, USAC, as always, for hosting and coordinating all of this, just making it work. And it takes a lot of effort. And this is the reason I always post the USAC tier list, is because A, USAC is the center of Amiibo, and B, because it's like mathematically valid. Like they pull everyone and they mathematically do math things, and this is the result. And so look. The Amiibo meta is slowing down, always has, and you can bring in 10,000 new Amiibo trainers, which was kind of my goal as Amiibo Doctor, and I actually made some progress on that, but the Amiibo meta still has a deterministic outcome, because at the end of the day, the only variable that can't be controlled is RNG, right? We can, although I do support Amiibo bin editing, like playstyle editing. I think that should be legalized now that we're in kind of the late stage of the meta, so long as it's disclosed, but this is, I would take this as a semi-final tier list. Like, obviously there's going to be positions that people disagree with and say, how could this be a final tier list? Like, Wario's not an S tier or something, something like that. But you know what, man? If I was gonna like use a tier list for the rest of eternity, like it's not a bad one, Like, I do want to point out that Me Gunner in S tier, dude. So I had always been a Me Gunner believer, even when she was in like, I don't know, I'll say A, maybe even B+ tier. And I actually wrote an article on AmiiboDoctor.com like 4 years ago. When did I write this? Yeah, March 19th, 2021. No, that wasn't true. I wrote that way before then. I wrote that right before Banjo came out. which was in March of 2020. Okay, so I guess it was only about 2.5 to almost 3 years ago. But basically, I wrote an article called "Me Gunner's Diamond Potential." Not that you can see that at all. Okay, that's great. This camera sucks with screens, dude. And anyway, so I didn't predict this exact outcome, that she was going to be the top, but I did predict that she would do pretty well against heavies. So I'll give myself a smidgen of credit for seeing that. But anyway, Kazuya in U tier, yeah, that he's beatable. Technically, there are things that can beat him, whereas, you know, a perfectly optimal Incineroar probably cannot be beaten, like, hardly ever. But in, you know, they might as well put him in U tier. I guess if we really wanted to, like, take up more space on the tier list, we should have like a U minus tier, because U for still universally banned, but minus because he's not quite Incineroar level, in my opinion. But at that point, it's just semantics and it's just stupid. Just stick him in U tier. There's no real reason not to. So, but this is what I would consider to be a pretty solid tier list. In before the comments come of, well, who's a low tier? Well, my Fox amiibo can destroy me, or my Jigglypuff amiibo is the strongest in the world, and so your tier list is wrong, and I'm going to destroy you. Because I still get comments. It's been like 9 years of amiibo training. People are still like convinced that, I have a Jigglypuff with Insta-Drop that sometimes lands rests. It's gonna destroy the meta! I'm like, dude, you're welcome to try it, man. There's the USAC invite link right there. I've got like Discord links at AmiiboDoctor.com. Just, hey, good luck, bud. Oh, spacebar doesn't stop it. That's an inside joke. If you, well, depends on how deep you go into the Amiibo Doctor lore. Spacebar doesn't stop it is a running gag. So as far as the future of Amiibo Doctor content, as I'm sure you've noticed, the website and the YouTube channel have been slowing down significantly. And when I say slowing down, I mean not a lot of content at all. Partially because Amiibo training is kind of past its prime. We peaked when I put out the documentary. Probably the best thing I ever did is Amiibo Doctor. And then, you know, when Nintendo gave us some tag team tourney love, that was cool. Although it actually did not pique interest in Amiibo training as much as you would think. And I have the stats for that somewhere. I printed them out. They're probably in the second from the bottom drawer over there. But yeah, and well, we'll cover that in a sec. Yeah, so just housekeeping on the website. If you've written a Amiibo training guide that I asked for, and that I commissioned you for, and I haven't paid you, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me. If nothing else, AmiiboDoctor@gmail.com is a perfectly acceptable way to do that. And I do want to get you paid, because even if I don't end up posting it, I asked you for a thing, and you gave me the thing. So like, I may have forgotten about the thing, but I don't want to forget to pay you for your effort. So please reach out to me. But otherwise, yeah, I have 1 semester left before I take the bar. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with law school, but the bar exam is what we would call difficult. So it's going to be like, I got to find a job, place to live, bar exam, and then there's other like non-law related life things. And I'm also just moving on to other projects, right? So Amiibo Doctor's not dead. If there's Amiibo training in the next Smash game, or if there is a next Smash game, you know, we'll see if that becomes a thing, right? Of course, Nintendo is doing another Amiibo tag tourney. Oh, I was going to talk about that later. Okay, we'll talk about that in a sec. But, you know, the content is going to slow down. So, but we are doing that Sora Amiibo video. Absolutely doing that. I completely finished recording, and then upon replay realized that Tag Team Tourney does not mean the same thing as Squad Strike Challenge, and that the in-person event that they had a while back was the Squad Strike, not the Tag Team Tourney. The Tag Team Tourney, for distinction, is the event online on the Smash Ultimate. I'm pointing at my Switch, not that you can see it. They're online services, so it's when all the tournaments change to be you and an amiibo, right? And I think it's really cool that Tag Team Tourney is still a thing. It's kind of an annual thing. I think they've done it every other year, maybe. We only have 5 years from which to draw, but the tag team tourney is always really cool. It's really fun. I recommend doing it. I've written content about it on Amiibo Doctor and how to win that. Just pick Bowser. That's really it. Don't pick Incineroar. Everyone's like, I'm going to do Incineroar. Don't do Incineroar. Kazuya could work, but because you'll be on like stages that do not have consistent platforms, Kazuya can work, but Bowser is probably better because he's just generally more functional on those stages. But that's up for debate. Who really cares that much? So, but tag team tourney still a thing at some point, somewhere down the line. I'm sure if you regularly play Smash, you probably know more about that than I do. So, anyway, with that, I think we'll call it good. This day is always funny for me because everyone is training their Amiibo now, so my YouTube channel analytics just go through the roof for a day or two. So, but Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. Normally, I would do an Amiibo giveaway at some point, but I no longer have the infrastructure for that, so that's fun. Yeah, thank you all for another year of subscribing and watching, and I guess not really watching because I didn't post much, but you know, that's okay. It's on me, not on you. And go enjoy the rest of your year and hopefully the next one. Okay, how come the spacebar worked that time?